So you know Syenite. Who can say what is Syenite? You have already studied IUGS. Yes, that's the thing. So alkali feldspar will be more, na? So when you are drawing the total alkali, sorry, IUGS diagram, and yes, about the so IUGS classification QAPF diagram, QAPF diagram. So here cyanide comes, na? Here cyanide comes, cyanide here, cyanide. This is cyanide, monzonite, monzodiorite. So now the thing is, this cyanide is highly saturated with alkali feldspar. Alkali feldspar. That is orthoclase feldspar, or you can say potash feldspar. So basically, cyanide is a rock, or you can say cyanide is a plutonic igneous rock, which is highly enriched in alkali feldspar content. Okay, that is cyanide. So in case of cyanide, you can classify cyanide. How? How you can classify cyanide? You already know that. This is the cyanide. Okay. Sorry, this is the quartz cyanide. Na? This is the quartz cyanide. And this is the cyanide. Okay. This is the cyanide. This is the alkali feldspar cyanide. Alkali feldspar cyanide. Okay. This one is the alkali feldspar quartz cyanide. No. Quartz cyanide. And this one is void bearing cyanide. Void bearing cyanide. Okay, and this one is void cyanide. Okay, void cyanide, or you can say this is as nepheline cyanide. Okay, nepheline cyanide. So you already know what is this classifications are, classifications of cyanide. So you can say that if quartz is what, if quartz is, this is your, if this is quartz, if quartz is like this is 10% na, or 20%. This line is considering, I am considering this as 10%. You just check the book there what this is, 10% or 20%. Okay. So you can just write that if quartz percentage in cyanide rock, if quartz percentage is like 5 to 10%, then it will be called as quartz cyanide. Then if it is less than 5%, then it will be called as cyanide. If alkali feldspar content is greater than 90%, it is called as alkali feldspar cyanide. If quartz percentage is 5 to 10% and your alkali feldspar is greater than 90%, then it is called as alkali feldspar quartz cyanide. So easily you can classify the cyanide classification, na? So you already know the IUGS classification, so you can just classify. So let us write what is cyanide, alkali feldspar cyanide. From IUGS, what we are getting? We are getting cyanide, then your quartz cyanide, then your alkali feldspar bearing, no sorry, quartz bearing alkali feldspar cyanide, alkali feldspar cyanide. Okay, then your quartz bearing alkali feldspar cyanide. Okay, then void bearing alkali feldspar cyanide, then void cyanide. So basically, these are the classifications based on QAPF diagram. You just write down the. You have already written the percentages of minerals available. Okay. So now this cyanide, what happens? Cyanide is a highly felsic rock. Okay. So what do you think? If we are how it will be originated? You have already know that very much of rocks, how fractionation is going on, how differentiation is going on, how partial mating occurs. So comment. So please comment 2 or 3 petrogenesis models, or just comment that how can be a syenite, how can be a rock rich in such amount of alkali feldspar can be formed? Okay, comment on that. Or for cyanitic magma, you see such amount of feldspar, such high amount of feldspar cannot be availed from the primitive magma like the peridotic magma or basaltic magma, okay, or directly from the mantle chamber, lahergolitic mantle or garnet Harzburgitic mantle. So you cannot avail this type of enrichment in feldspars. Okay, so for this process, actually what happens, the granites, already formed granites undergo partial melting and very low degree of partial melting. Very low degree of partial melting. As you know, potassium is compatible or incompatible? Anyone? HFSC, LILE, potassium is HFSC or LILE or compatible? So basically potassium is LILE, okay. So this is incompatible in solid. Na? So large ion lithophile element. So basically when low degree of partial melting will occur, so this is incompatible. So this will come to the liquid phase. Na? So this will enrich in liquid phase instantly when the partial melting starts. Okay, if एक रॉक है ग्रानाइट तो वो पार्शियल मेल्टिंग स्टार्ट कर देगा तो थोड़ा सा भी अगर मेल्ट रहेगा, आज पोटासियम इज वेरी इनकम्पैटिबल एलिमेंट, सो वो क्या करेगा, वो पूरा मेल्ट को चला आएगा ना पोटासियम। तो अभी क्या होगा, जो लो डिग्री ऑफ पार्शियल मेल्टिंग हुआ था तो थोड़ा सा लिक्विड निकला था, तो ये वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ लिक्विड वाज देयर, so all the potassium will be reached in that melt and that melt will go and like your volcanism or sorry intrusion, that will give rise to the cyanitic composition. Okay, if it undergoes high degree of partial melting, what will happen? That will be granodiuretic or you can say granitoid in composition. Okay. More calcium in solution which will produce plagioclase, exactly. So high degree of partial melting will produce plagioclase. Calcium, high degree of partial melting will release the calcium and sodium contents from the granite. So you will be finding a granodiuretic or granitoid composition. Okay, granitoid composition, not exactly granite. As you know, granitoid is a group of rock. So you will be finding a granitoid composition. Okay, so that's the thing. So you know how syenite is originated, how syenite is composed of. Let us see the slides. What extra thing is there I have missed? So syenite are plutonic. There is nothing much in the syenite rock. Okay, syenite, comatite. There is more midosonic is also. There is nothing much in there. So syenite are plutonic rocks composed of essentially potassium feldspar. Okay, and less amount of quartz and plagioclase, as you know the QAPF diagram. So quartz syenite, you can write this like your classifications. Okay, you just write these classifications. I'll upload the slide by writing the classifications. Okay, I so this is the classification already I have told you. Sometimes cyanide contain mafic mineral like hornblende and biotite. This one is important. Epidiomorphic and less commonly porphyritic texture. Okay, subhedral to and subhedral to euhedral grains. Okay, trachytic texture also says that shows trachytic texture, that is preferential orientation to the flow direction. Na? Trachytic texture. Okay, and okay, that's the thing. This one also. Cyanite can be hypersolvous and subsolvous. Okay, same. Tell me what is hypersolvous and subsolvous. Okay, so basically hypersolvous is single feldspar and low H2O pressure. Okay, and subsolvous is dual feldspar and high H2O pressure. You already know the Albright orthoclase system. Okay, Albright orthoclase system, how in limited solution single feldspar and dual feldspar forms. So like that, in case of granite, you have known that the hypersolvous granite and subsolvous granite like that. in case of Syenite, you have hypersulfous Syenite and subsulfous Syenite. So the hypersulfous variety will show porthite, antiporthite, mesoporthite, this texture. Okay, what is porthitic texture? So this is porthite texture. The hypersulfous will show porthite texture. These are cyanides have low color index. That means more melalocratic in nature. Okay, usually occurs in volcanic plugs, minor intrusions associated with larger bodies of different composition, and variable composition. Okay, variable composition. So this is the occurrence of cyanide. Okay, so can you draw the as you know, Syenite is rich in potash feldspar, highly rich in potash feldspar. So tell me, what will be its RE pattern? Just a characteristic, just a small characteristic. Enriched in LRE. Okay, enriched, it will be enriched in RE. It will be enriched in RE because of low degree of partial melting is going on. So it will be enriched in RE. But in case of already it is undergoing partial melting from the granitic rock, na? So it will depend. Another thing about europium potash feldspar shows negative anomaly, na? Europium, that's why granite shows negative anomaly, plagioclase shows positive anomaly. Why granite shows negative europium anomaly? Because of it is actually the bookish granite is enriched in feldspar, na? So the feldspar cyanide will be showing a negative europium anomaly. Okay, so that will be the RE pattern. Okay, negative europium anomaly it will show. You can draw like this. Okay, you can draw like this. So this is the RE pattern. Okay, next we are moving to normal orthocyanide can form both with both silica saturated and silica undersaturated cyanide or series. So we can from orthocyanide we can get from silica saturated and silica undersaturated. And in case of nepheline calcilate silica, you have already known that. Okay, in nepheline calcilate silica, from a silica saturated melt and silica undersaturated melt, how we are getting a acidic rock and we are getting a basic rock. Na? Okay. So petrogenesis already we have studied petrogenesis. Okay. So that's things we are written. Products of alkaline igneous activity formed in thick continental crust areas in subduction zones produced by very low degree of partial melting of granitic or igneous petrolith as potassium is incompatible. So high degree of partial melting will release calcium and sodium, and a plagioclase rich rock will be formed. Okay, so this is cyanide. Moving to